All right, brothers, what up, though? And yes, I'm watching Barbie. Overall, the movie was pretty good, but I just like movies. And they actually took the same direction that I probably would have took. I'm not sure if I would have made it the musical it was, but I can't hate on the movie. The movie was solid. I even like the infamous speech that America Ferrera is about to speak here about her, just a general speech about women. I'm going to let her kick it off and I'm going to chime in throughout. And just let me say this as a disclaimer. I love women. I love the so called black woman in particular. The so called black woman, in her right mind, she is smart, she is beautiful, and she is important. The so called black woman is not only necessary, but she is essential. America here is about to say a speech about women in general. I'm going to break it down or agree or disagree with line for line.
It is literally impossible to be a woman.
No, it is not. Either you are a woman or you are a man. That's it. Either you're a woman or you are a man. That is it. Now, whatever criteria you deem women to, adhere to, that's actually something personal. But it's not impossible to be a woman. Either you're a woman or you are not.
You are so beautiful, so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary,
Says who?
but somehow we're always doing it wrong.
I disagree. I know a lot of extraordinary women that did some great things. So I'm not sure what the hell she's talking about.
You have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin.
Let's be honest. Let's just be honest. Do you have to say healthy? And thin usually, goes hand in hand with being healthy. It just is what it is. Thin might actually be a European, ideology. But most men actually like curves. They like breasts, they like booty, they like hips, they like thighs. You don't usually get those with thin or the model type woman. You have to, if you're a woman, you have to ask yourself what it is that you want. Meaning, what type of woman do I want to be to get the type of man that I want in return? If the type of man that I want likes thick women, then I really don't have to be thin. And I'm not saying you should be whatever it is that you want to be in juxtaposition to get a man. I'm not saying that. But you can't blame men because that's what she's doing. You can't blame men for wanting or liking what they like. It is what it is. Because if you're let's make this movie not Barbie and let's call it Ken. And let's have some guy say a speech about being men and her not saying or him not talking about being thin, but he's talking about height. You have to be tall, but you can't say you want to be tall, but you also still have to be tall. I mean, it is what it is. Women like what they like. Women like tall dudes. They want a man who can take charge and have some level of authority. Symbolically, the taller guy is someone who she can look up to literally. It is what it is. If you want to be thin or in shape or healthy, that's up to you. No one is pushing you to do that. especially men, because men can't say anything now. A woman can be as big as a house, and if you say anything about her, you're fat shaming.
You have to have money, but you can't ask for money.
No one gives a shit about if the woman has money or not. Nobody. Why? Because men aren't going to see it. Men aren't going to see it. She's not going to take you out to dinner and pay. She's not going to pay for the hotel or the trip or the vacation or the rent or the mortgage. She's not going to pay any of the bills. We do not care how much money a woman makes. We just don't.
Because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have
Yeah, because that's annoying.
to be a career woman, but
No, you do not. The only people who talk about being a career woman or a boss chick is Twitter and Instagram. That is it. Men have never said, I want a career woman. Never. Never, ever. Men don't care about that. Now, she should have something going on, I guess, but does she have to be a career woman? No. Why? Because the career woman is not available. She's just not. The nurse, the judge, the lawyer, she is not available.
also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane.
No, you don't. You have to answer for men's bad behavior? What the hell is she talking about?
But if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women because
You're supposed to say stay pretty for men. Okay, you can be pretty, but I've said this before. If men are bears, then women are fish, meaning bears naturally like fish. And when she's saying too pretty, she really means sexy. So what America Farrah, what she has on right now is fine. Why? Because she's not showing any cleavage. She's not showing any ass. You see what I'm saying? She's modest. For one thing, this movie was actually pretty good because it was for girls. It was for little girls, so there was no cleavage. It was nothing. It was just none of that really. Women weren't overly sexualized in this movie. I think that's one of the few things that stood out to me. But you don't have to be too pretty because you're going to tempt men. It doesn't make any sense. Men naturally like pretty women. Now, if you dress quote unquote scantily clad or like a hoe, then yes, you're going to attract unsavory dudes. It just is what it is.
supposed to be a part of the sisterhood, but always stand out and always be grateful. But never forget that the system is rigged, so find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off.
You have to never get old. These are things that no one says ever. These are things that women put on themselves. This is what the whole speech is about. Of course, they have to talk about men because it just is what it is. But men never say any of these things. Father Time is undefeated. Everyone gets old. It's what it is. Now, I do notice how when women tend to get older, at least, if they have money or celebrity, they tend to get, Botox or, get a facelift or cheek fill in, lip fill in, etc., etc. Look at Cher, look at, Vivica A. Fox or, Little Kim or Serena Williams, who's, bleaching herself now. It is what it is. It is what it is. That Serena Williams thing, that's another video for another day. But they all get surgery. But these are things that they believe that they should do. Men like natural. Now, there's some men out there who don't care either way, but that's very few and far between. Men like natural. They like natural hair. They like natural boobs. They don't like BBLs. And we like real women, not dolls. That's what men like. We like women, not, toys.
Never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line.
Why would we want someone to get out of line, especially a woman? A woman getting out of line, quote unquote, i.e., being disrespectful to a man, probably in this case, just comes off real tacky. It just does. Because in the man's psyche, in his mind, he knows that he's supposed to do damn near everything for his woman. And which goes back to her previous statement about being grateful. Yeah, be grateful. Why? Because it's on the man to do everything anyway. The woman doesn't have to work. I've said before, all the woman has to do is knock on a man's door and say, hey, can I stay with you? The man has to work. I don't care if he lives with his parents. I don't care if he lives with his brother. I don't care if he has one kid or two kids, or he's a family man or a single dad, or he has a harem, or he's a bachelor. It doesn't matter. The man has to work. The woman can be at home, chilling, waiting for her man to come home, and no one will say anything about her. But if the woman wakes up in the morning and she goes out to make money moves and the man stays home, yes, he's weak. It just is what it is.
It's too hard, it's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, never afraid to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear.
Never fall down, never fail. Let's be honest. The woman, and I do mean only the woman, can fall down, can fail, and no one will say anything. Only the woman can fall flat on her face and no one will care. No one. If you're a dude, you damn near have to have your shit together by 16, 17 years old. You have to have your life planned out already. No one gives a shit about what the woman can do. Nobody. If she wants to start her own business, great. If she has her own bakery or restaurant, that's cool too. If she's selling wigs online, that's great. Everything is exactly the same to the woman. It's exactly the same. Meaning, if you got a woman over here who's, selling wigs and has her own entrepreneurial business, and you got another woman over here who's a lawyer who's made partner at her law firm, that's exactly the same thing. Why? Because she's a woman and the woman can never do any wrong. The woman is perfect. You can't say anything about the woman in this society. Again, if she's overweight, you're fat shaming. If she's dressed scantily clad, you're slut shaming. If she's, showing her titties and throwing ass online, you're intruding on her sexual liberation. It is what it is. The woman is in her playground now. She can do whatever she wants to do. She can dress however she wants to dress. She can conduct herself however she wants to conduct herself. And she is beyond reproach. So never fail, never show fear. Please, these women are terrified out here. No one cares. Meaning no one's demonizing the woman for it. No one ever points the finger at the woman and says, do better. No one does that.
Never get out of line. It's too hard. It's too contradictory. And nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And
no one gets a medal. It's the real world.
it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault.
Oh, please. Nothing is the woman's fault. Why? I have never seen a woman take full accountability. Ever. The woman has 1,000,001 excuses on top of her 4 layers of entitlement. Impossible. Everything is your fault is the biggest lie in this whole speech. Impossible. It's always the man's fault. Or because, it was, PMS, or she, had an argument with her mom, or she had a falling out with her boyfriend or her homegirl, or, it's always something. It's never her. It's her zodiac sign. Oh, I'm a Taurus. You know how he get. Oh, I'm an Aries. You know how he can be sometime. Don't judge me. Like the woman, it's never the woman's fault. It is what it's never the woman's fault. Everything is your fault. Impossible. I have yet to see a woman say, I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I take full responsibility for my conduct. I have never heard a woman talk like that. Everything is the woman's fault. Impossible. That is the biggest lie I've heard on this film, in this speech.
I'm just so tired of watching myself and every single other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us.
We already like women. We already like women. Again, if men are bears, then women are salmon. Bears naturally like salmon. Now you can fillet yourself. You can deep fry yourself. You can saute yourself. You can turn yourself into sushi. You can dip yourself in honey. We already like you. You seen bears just scoop the salmon right out the river. You don't have to do nothing extra except be a decent human being. That's really it. You never hear men talk about anything else except, pretty maybe, but that's really it. Pretty, loyal. That's it. No man says, I want a career woman. I want a boss chick. I want a partner. Men don't talk like that. He just wants a good woman who loves him back. That's it. To tie herself into knots so people will like us. Who don't like women? Well, except for other women. I mean, that is what it is. Women are just catty. It just is what it is. But men naturally like women. It is what it is. The natural polarity between the woman is sexual and or romantic. That is it.
And if all of that is also true for a doll, just representing a woman, then I don't even know. Wait, I did write a book. It's like I've been in a dream where I was somehow really invested in the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. But what you said broke me out of it. Really? Yeah.
You're back. She's back. By giving voice to the cognitive dissonance required to be a woman under the patriarchy, you robbed it of its power.
Yeah.
Under the patriarchy. I've said before that women don't listen to men anyway. The patriarchy technically is a myth. Women don't listen to men, and let's be honest, women do whatever they feel like from moment to moment anyway. And when I say women are beyond reproach, meaning that if they do something wrong, you can't reprimand the woman to any capacity. You just can't. She just did whatever it is she did. If she wants to get a divorce and she says irreconcilable differences, no one can say anything. What does she really mean? She means that she got bored. That's what she means. Did he hit you? No. Was he a drunk? No. Was he a junkie? No. Did he abuse the children? No. Did he abuse you? No. So why are you leaving? Irreconcilable differences. We just grew apart. What does that even mean? The woman will always throw in the towel. Why? Because she can. That's why. No one holds the woman accountable. And she doesn't hold herself accountable. So, why would she? She can do whatever she wants. And she is the most miserable. She just is.
Wow, I just said all of that.
Hell yes, white savior Barbie.
No, it was your mom. Your mom did the saving. We have to stop the Kens. And you need to say all of those things to the other Barbies. That's the key.
Got it. But how are we going to get the Barbies away from their Kens? We have experience with a world like this one.
Do you have a map of Barbie Land? What do you think?
Anyway, this movie was okay. It was pretty good. I can't hate on it overall. But I just wanted to dive into that speech. Anyway, I'll catch you brothers on the next one.